Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today TV. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is Market Today, a show where we will wrap up today's trading session and how it went past for all of you to really understand what happened in the markets, what was the action like, the sectors and the stocks that were buzzing in trade. And we'll also be joined by an expert to help us understand what to really expect from the stock markets going forward into the next week as well. Well, if I have to sum up today's trade, it has been a blockbuster Friday for the Indian stock markets. What a rally we have seen. The Sensex has rallied by over 1181 points. It shut shop at 61,795. Talk about the Nifty. What a sharp gain right there. 1.7 or 1.8% on an upside and 321 points of gain. 18,350 and nearabouts is where the Nifty shut shop. Remember, the Nifty has touched its 52-week high level. That means in this year so far, we've seen the highest level of the Nifty in today's trading session at 18,350 right here. So what has really contributed to this rally? What led to this rally? Well, we started off on a very strong note as well. We saw that gap up move, and that was all led by the buoyancy that we saw overnight on the Wall Street as well. The Asian markets also taking in those cues, and the Indian markets did see that very, very sharp move as a gap up right in the opening move. And we were consistent in that move. Towards the end, we ended at the high point of the day as well. What led to this rally was definitely the softer than expected US inflation data and also the easier stance of China on the zero COVID policy as well. Now, whether this momentum will continue or not, that's what we will find out. Joining in is a very special guest with us. Mr. Kranti Batini joins in from Wealthmill Securities. He's the Director of Equity Research there. Welcome, sir, and thank you so much for taking the time out for this discussion. It's been a fantastic trading session, and what a day to, what a way to end this week with. Help us understand, what did you make of the move in today's trading session, and do you really expect the momentum to continue this way?
Actually used a very right word, accurate word, blockbuster rally, what we are witnessing. At the same point of time, yesterday, if we are thinking about the market was in a complete a negative zone. The move was turning towards a negative zone. But the phenomenal overnight changes in the global market that led the complete clear-cut change in Indian market. And also what we are witnessing currently is the support that's coming for Indian markets from the global markets also help the market to rise. Today, the large cap, the day for the large caps, HDFC twins, I can say the small elephants on Indian markets are dancing today on Indian markets. You can see the HDFC twins going up and sustaining the market. We have witnessed a fabulous rally in stocks like Infosys. So the large cap stocks are helped the market to reach both the Nifty as well as Sensex to touch a level of 52-week high. And I believe the rally is going to continue. And yesterday, in the same show, we discussed about market taking the support at 17,950 range, and the markets are way above 18,000 today. What we can see is we need to see the participation coming from mid and small cap, because mid and small caps are not participated this entire move right now. Going ahead, we need to see the participation coming from mid and small cap. That's crucial for the entire breadth of the market and the texture of the market at present. What led this rally? As you rightly said, the first and foremost thing is the foreign portfolio investors have become net buyers right now. Last 6 months, they have been selling Indian equities. Right now, they're coming at a level of 18,000 level, and they are buying in Indian equity markets. Especially whenever the large cap moves like this, it is a phenomenal participation that's coming back from the foreign portfolio investors. And also, for the US markets are concerned currently, we can say US markets are bottomed out, and also the inflationary data that's coming from the US markets really fueled the rally right now across the globe.
Right, absolutely. Mr. Patini, you also used a very interesting word which I want to use for the outperformers among the sectoral indices today. The bottoming out. Do you believe that the IT sector has somehow bottomed out? This sector has been an underperformer so far this year. But the kind of move that we have seen today, 3.8% up move. Nifty IT was the outperforming index when we talk about the other sectoral indices. What do you think about that? Is the momentum going to come back here? Are these stocks also going to be a part of of the leading pack. We've already seen the banks and the financials really come up, right, and leading this kind of move that we've seen in the last 10-15 days from the front. But will the IT sector also support?
Sakshi, we need to take two things into cognizance. The first and foremost is IT was the uh, outperformer in past 18 months.
Yeah.
And last 6 months, if you see, there is some kind of softening of the prices in IT stocks. Whenever the FP, foreign portfolio investor comes heavily and invest in Indian markets, two sectors to bound to outperform in Indian market. First and foremost is the banking and financial services, and the second one is IT. So right now, we can see the outperformance that's coming from banking and financial services, and we need to also take it the point, Sakshi. Today, Bank Nifty also touched one of the all-time highs right now.
Yes,
So the
yes, true.
support from Bank Nifty as well as when the FPS comes and invest in Indian markets, one of the stock, the sector that's going to benefit is IT, and also the outperformance and uh, and also what we are seeing is some kind of buying interest in Nasdaq. So that fueled the IT as the valuation levels looks very comforting to the investors. There is some kind of cherry picking that's happening in the IT sector. If you keep the gun at my point blank and say, Ranti, IT is bottomed out,
Yeah.
I can say IT seems to be bottomed out, but uh, any dip in IT gives a very good opportunity for the investors to buy without any hesitation.
Right. Okay, but perhaps you can throw some light on it. Always we see when the rupee is weakening, the IT sector definitely gets some support because of its outsourcing nature and its export-oriented nature. Today as well, we've actually seen the rupee, jumping almost 100 or 101 paise. It's actually posted its biggest single-day gain in nearly 4 years versus the dollar. Is that a bit of a concern for the overall stock markets and the kind of momentum that we've built?
Uh, it's actually, as an Indian, I love to see Indian rupee always getting appreciated. But coming to the business, coming to whenever FPIs comes, they invest. Okay, one of the thing is rupee get appreciates, and the current factor is it's not about the dollar or rupee. It's more about the sentiment and also how the things that are going to pan out in US. That is the crux for IT stocks are concerned. When rupee is getting depreciated, we what we witnessed is IT stocks are they were underperforming. So the point here is how the things that are getting panned out in the US market, that is the crux for the entire IT sector going to be. The sentiment in US market is very important. That's going to fuel the IT stocks going ahead.
Right. Okay. But final question to you, going forward into the next week, what can investors really expect? Are we looking at both the Nifty and the Sensex approaching those all-time high levels next week? Can it happen next week or not? And what is the approach that investors should have when the markets are on this sharp up move?
Uh, yes, markets are just at a kissing distance from the all-time highs.
Yes.
Probably that can be fulfilled next week. The global cues are going to be positive, but we need to see a lot of news that's going to come next week from U.S. markets, and also how the Fed initial commentary going to be. Whether this is the uh, peak of interest rates at U.S. or the Fed is ready to use some more ammunition in the coming days. This is the crux that's going to determine the market going ahead. One thing we also need to keep in mind, Sakshi, how the quarterly earnings that's going to come, and also we are going to enter into the budget season. How the uh, initial commentary comes from Minister of Finance, the budgetary uh, things that are going to come from the market. These are the drivers that are going to lead the market. Probably, as you rightly said, we can going to see markets at a new all-time highs going ahead in the coming weeks.
Okay, understood that. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Patini, for being with us on the show and sharing all these wonderful insights about the stock markets. I'm sure the investors are very excited about this phase of the markets when, after a long haul, we're finally seeing that the benchmark indices really approaching those all-time high levels. And just like how you pointed out, next week we could see those all-time highs being touched, and very, very soon some new highs on the street as well. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, as is always.
Always
Let's
pleasure.
now move on to see how the markets shut shop. Just to wrap up for you, a very strong day for the markets. 1181 points up for the Sensex, 61,795 and 18,350 nearabouts for the Nifty, a 52-week high level right there. Strong momentum may continue. It is going to be some of those heavyweight counters that actually showed momentum today that could continue to show strength and support the markets going forward. And especially those banking names, the IT names, the rebound over there, if that sustains, and the kind of global cues that we are getting, if that continues to support us, we may see those record highs coming very, very soon. Thank you so much for tuning in for now. Hope you all have a great weekend, and do stay tuned on to Business Today TV for a whole lot more exciting coverage on business and stock markets coming up right up next for you.